Before motorists had time to get used to the Geeleys and Cherries, new strange cars began to appear on the roads that no one had seen before. It's a strange thing. Everyone has long been accustomed to the slowly changing traffic flow. By oncoming headlights and the silhouette in the rearview mirror, one could accurately determine the make and model of the car. But now, thanks to the Chinese automobile industry, we never tire of being surprised every day. We present to your attention a selection of new Chinese cars that have not yet conquered the market, but are already found in traffic and surprise with their unusual shapes, backlights, and screens glowing throughout the cabin. Geeleys 001. Many people have already seen this car on the streets of their cities. There are queues of people wanting to purchase them for the Geeleys, and most of the reviews are, oddly enough, positive. Geeleys is a very young brand, owned by the already familiar Geely, which since 2021 has been producing exclusively premium electric cars. Geely originally announced its 001 model with a 140 kilowatt-hour battery and a range of over 1,000 kilometers on a charge, although measured using the soft Chinese CLTC method, under ideal conditions of low speed and slow acceleration. So in reality the average driver's range is reduced by 30 to 40%. In addition, as we are already accustomed to from various gadgets, the capacity of almost any battery loses up to 50% of its life in a few years, and car batteries will not be able to avoid this fate, and we will only know how things will go with replacements in the near future, and therefore evaluate the appeal of electric vehicles from China on the aftermarket is still early. Geeleys 001 has different versions. The most budget version has one electric motor with an equivalent power of 272 horsepower. There is also a version with two such motors, respectively. It already has a power of 544 horsepower, and there is, so to speak, a charged version 001 FR, which develops 1265L with and accelerates to 100 km per hour in less than 2.5 seconds. Geeleys 001 is declared as a premium car, and from the premium side there is an air suspension that changes the stiffness and ground clearance, doors that open and close automatically, a panoramic roof with a dimming function, spectacular seats that are heated, ventilated and massaged with a set of programs. Lixiang L9. In 2023, this car received the status of Car of the Year. Thanks to its more familiar design, it appealed to a huge number of motorists, because the car can be charged both from the station and from a gasoline generator installed under the hood. But by the way, it is worth noting that the biggest complaint about this car is why Chinese engineers decided to install just a generator to charge the battery, and not a full-fledged engine connected to the wheels, because this way the car could be operated both as an electric car and as a regular car. The L9 is a large family crossover, a competitor to the BMW X7, Mercedes-Benz GLS and Range Rover. Structurally, this is a sequential hybrid with two electric motors with a total power of 449 horsepower. It also has a fairly large battery, a gasoline generator and a declared range of more than 1,000 kilometers. Sound insulation is not just premium, but at the same level as in a heavy luxury car. This effect is enhanced by the silent operation of the gasoline generator and the suspension, which supports the body softer than a flying carpet. The car's autopilot has incredible accuracy. The computer processes information from 11 cameras and 12 ultrasonic sensors, as well as a high-definition LiDAR mounted on the roof with 128 laser beams and a millimeter wave radar. The L9 doesn't have incredible dynamics, but even these 5 seconds to 100 are enough to get euphoria from powerful electric acceleration. And even when the battery is running low, in most situations the always available instant pickup is enough. Voya Free. For the serial crossover, a platform called ESSA, Electrical Smart Safety Architecture, was developed with an independent suspension on double wishbones at the front and a multi-link at the rear. The power plant of the electric crossover is 2 engines with an output of 488 horsepower and a battery with a capacity of 106 kilowatt-hours. There is also a hybrid version. It also has 2 electric motors with a total power of 680 horsepower and a 109 horsepower turbo 4, which most often works solely as a generator that recharges the batteries, but at high speed it also helps rotate the wheels. All modifications of the crossover are equipped with an air suspension, which allows you to change the ground clearance in the range from 113 to 213 millimeters. That is, in the upper position, the free clearance is only 17 millimeters short of the ground clearance of the Toyota Land Cruiser. The power frame of the crossover is made of aluminum silicon alloy and high-strength steel. The pillars are composite, that is, the body is light and durable. This model has already passed crash tests using the Chinese CNCAP method, which is generally close to the European Euro NCAP. It received 5 stars out of 5 and quite high final ratings. In terms of size, the crossover is closest to the BMW X5 and Porsche Cayenne, and as conceived by the engineers, it should become a competitor. The interior looks impressive, but the main wow effect is created by the movable front panel. Immediately after starting the power plant, the electric drive lifts it entirely from the bowels of the front console. There is no functional purpose in this transformation, but it looks very impressive. Another chic element is the electrochromic panoramic roof with adjustable transparency. Hongqi EHS9 is the brand's flagship, an all-electric SUV with unique styling. This car is called the Chinese Rolls-Royce. It is enough to look around the driver's seat to understand. This is not a car for the driver. There is no reason for the owner to get behind the wheel himself. The steering wheel is trimmed with the most ordinary leather, like on mass-market models. The air duct grills are wobbly in their seats. The turn signals are somehow uncomfortably tight. The brake pedal is also unusually springy. Yes, it's better for a hired driver to adapt to all this. And he doesn't necessarily need to know the digital password, without which he can't open the glove compartment. The 551 horsepower electric car has just enough speakers to never think about whether there is any reserve. An additional argument for its status is the fact that Hongqi is the only supplier of cars for the ruling party of China. True, the brand's image is somewhat blurred due to the fact that the Hongqi line also includes relatively affordable models, like the H5 sedan. Venucia V Online is another Chinese new product, although engineers from the Nissan company also had a hand in this. This is perhaps the only representative of the top, with a classic power plant, and the most budget car among Chinese new products. The Venucia V Online is powered by a 1.5-liter engine with direct injection and turbocharging. It is based on Japanese technical solutions and has established itself as a reliable power unit. The power of this internal combustion engine reaches 190 horsepower. The engine is paired with a 7-speed robotic transmission, front-wheel drive only. The car will reach the first 100 in 8 seconds, and the consumption per 100 is about 7.5 liters. In general, this is a classic Chinese crossover with a turbo 4, albeit in a new wrapper. The interior has the usual screens and electronic buttons. The number of analog buttons is kept to a minimum. Their function is performed by touch keys on the steering wheel spokes.